What's up, everybody?
What
We're
the dilly with the dally?
live.
What the dilly with the dally?
Again, live. You said what?
What the dilly with the dally?
What the dilly? What the dally?
Yes. So let's deal with one thing real quick. I look real crazy. I don't understand. I like this hoodie, and it's almost St. Patrick's Day, so that's why I wore green. But I don't understand what really is supposed to happen with this neck thing, because this looks crazy like that. See that?
That's a nice color, though.
Thank you. But see how that's very strange.
I think you're supposed to like cloak yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that though. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So y'all just disregard what's happening with my neck situation. And let me say that today is gonna be mostly you, because if y'all can hear my voice,
he got that COVID, y'all.
I do not have the COVID.
He got it. He got that COVID.
It's allergy season.
No, it's allergies.
And I went out the last couple of days to take walks and stuff like that, and now I sound like this. So
you got your sexy voice on.
And I took the Sudafed, and I took what's the other stuff for the allergies? Yeah, Zyrtec, Allegra, one of them. And so it just hasn't quite kicked in all the way to medicine. So it's going to be mostly my beautiful wife over here that's going to do most of the talking today. But that's okay, because
the gab.
You do. And it's okay, because the subject matter that we're talking about today is more, I think, needs to come from a woman's perspective.
No, it's both. It's both.
Oh, well, so I'm going to fall back. I'm going to let you do your thing.
Don't fall back. Just participate.
I'll be here, but I'm going to,
Don't stress yourself. But
I'm gonna ease back a little bit into the.
Oh, poor baby. Y'all see how men act.
That is not what I said.
When they say,
I just said I wasn't feeling well today.
Oh, I'm about to die.
I didn't say that. You the one who said I had COVID earlier? Oh, by the way, just so y'all know, I'm part Irish. Let's just start with that.
Okay, can we go ahead and get to the production part?
I'm
Welcome
part
to another
Irish.
episode of We're Gonna Have Words, where we discuss, debate, explore.
What are you doing? Is your neck all right? Is your neck okay?
You made me forget what I was saying.
You need a massage?
Discuss,
your neck all right?
debate, explore, and sometimes argue topics on life, love, relationships, and family. I'm your host, Mandy, along with my hubs.
E-dub. What up, everybody?
All right. So we kind of talked about a little bit of this in the private group. We're talking about gaps in relationship, age gaps in relationships, and we're going to extend it a little further into ageism. Basically a discrimination or different judgment or treatment based on age. So
you want to talk about what led us down this road? What's the original topic that got you to start talking about this in the first place?
Well, the article about Lionel Richie being 71 and his girlfriend being 30. Do people look at him funny because of that? Is it more acceptable because he's a man to date someone or be with someone so much younger than he is? That kind of thing.
So we usually don't do current events. It's not really what we do or what we talk about on our podcast. So that's just a jumping off point where we're going to talk about, age differences and relationship is really what the topic
right.
is
We're just using pop culture
today
to kind of segue into relationship topics.
So you want to start with us and what our age difference is?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay. So it's 7 years.
Yes.
Which is not a lot.
No, not really.
And 7 is nothing really. You know what I mean? And if you're talking about the ages we are now, obviously 7 is nothing. I did meet you when you were still just a pup. You were still a baby. And I was
legal age, so let's.
Yeah, you were legal age. Yeah. But everybody knows what I mean when I say you was a baby. You was still young. You know what I mean? And I was already out in the world and in the military and had been through some things in my personal life. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of different experiences and things like that you hadn't experienced yet.
Right.
Which, when it came to the relationship, really didn't have as much bearing on it as one would have thought. In a positive way, I mean. It had a lot of bearing on it in a negative way. And we'll get into that later, but not necessarily in a positive way. So, as far as that 40-year age gap that is the jumping off point to the discussion. From a woman's perspective, how do you think about that? How do you view that?
Well, I know, like, from some of the discussion we had in group, that, someone was like, no way a woman could really love a man if he didn't have the money, talking about specifically Lionel Richie. But in that regard, I think it's more acceptable in society that a woman could, in fact, love a man regardless of how much money he makes, even if he were older. Whereas if the situation were reversed, one, I think people would be more judgmental about it. If it were a 71-year-old woman who was dating a 30-year-old man, I mean, when you get down to it, it's in the big world of things. Like, it's none of my business. So it's what's happy for them. That's good. Whatever works for them. For me personally, if I were the 70-year-old person and dating someone much younger, I would be concerned about what do we relate on? Like, does the age gap cause a difference because it's so big? It's such a big age gap. Because that's a big age gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
that's it.
I mean, I'm leaving room for introduction.
No. I remember I had said at the top that I wasn't going to talk much. So this is all you right now. I'll jump in a few minutes. That
doesn't mean that you sit here in silence.
Oh yeah. For a little while, I'm gonna be quiet as a church mouse.
Why?
I don't feel good, so I don't want to.
You don't feel good.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the people from having to deal with my
There's nothing wrong with your voice.
This thing is going on with my voice right now.
You can't even tell. Seriously.
Well, I can tell. So, okay. So let's just jump into this because you wanted to gloss over the money situation. Okay. So let's talk about the fact that he's 71 and he has money. And usually when you read stories in the paper, because I don't know anybody in these type of relationships, so it's usually the source usually comes from reading it in the paper or something like that. When you read these stories about or see them depicted on TV, and you talk about, oh, this old man is 80 something and this young woman is in her 20s or 30s, usually the old dude got money and the young woman is waiting for him to kick it. So because she's trying to be written into the will.
So do you think it has something like with that particular situation with him being Lionel Richie?
Absolutely. Because I'll tell you right now, when I'm 71, I don't know what I'm going to look like, but without having any work done or Botox and these other kinds of things and having the money to get all these facials and all this other kind of stuff that happens, right? I'm not going to be 71 if you weren't here. I'm not going to be 71 and eligible. I'm just going to be 71. But if I'm 71 and I'm worth $200 million, I'm 71 and eligible. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. So, I mean, I'm not like denying the fact that Lionel Richie is Lionel Richie. So, he's got money to fix himself up. He's got money. He's got these things that give him that je ne sais quoi, right? Mm-hmm. So I can get that. I just think that with that attraction, initially, I think that it's more socially acceptable that a woman can actually fall in love with that versus
fall in love with what? What is she falling in love with?
Men are just a little bit more superficial. I just think men are a little bit more superficial, and a 30-year-old would never date a 70-year-old woman
unless if she had money.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that if she's not Lionel Richie,
is it okay? So
like
I guess
celebrity, you got the celebrity, you have the money. That. Like, outside of, who was it that, years ago, but they're not together anymore. Demi Moore, she was much older than, what's his name?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, yes. So.
That wasn't 40 years, though.
No, what was it, 20?
And both of them got a little money, so it's different.
Yeah. So here we go. Here we go. Gomez is right. It's a weird relationship, but she could actually love him.
She loves him because he's 71 and eligible and has money. I've been thinking about this for the last few days. This is why she can find the road to love a lot easier. It's because he has money. Now, Lionel Richie still looks good. I will give you that.
Okay.
So he doesn't look whatever 71 looks like. He still looks good. He always been pretty. You know what I'm saying? He always has been. Okay, even from back in the day when he was with the Commodores and Zooming and all that kind of stuff. He was always a handsome dude. Okay. He's 71. He aged well. Okay. I give him that. However, he does have a lot of money.
Yes.
And so if I'm a 71-year-old just walking down the street and walking in whatever circles I walk in, and I see somebody, exactly, and I see somebody that's 30, she not going to turn and look at me if I'm just a regular schmo walking down the street. But if she knows who I am and she knows I got a little paper, she going to try and get written in that will.
Gomez says it's plastic
It's the plastic surgery. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but okay, so this is where we transfer into the ageism because, you know, you could say, okay, well, Lionel Richie is older, but he doesn't look that old. Maybe he's had some work done.
Definitely has some work done.
But when you flip that, I think that men are more accepted as they age than women. So like you got this right here, sir.
Yes.
Greenness.
Mm-hmm.
And for a man, it's like, I don't know, you get a little bit of that that wisdom, the maturity. But for women, she old.
Look.
No, listen, guys, this is a story. I think I was in my early 30s, maybe 32. So he comes home from work and he's talking about people at work or whatever. And he's like, oh, you know, talking about a lady there. And he's like, oh, you know, she's an older lady. And I was like, oh, what do you mean older lady? And he's like, you know, like 35, 36. I was just like, sir, that's not old.
Well, now that needs context. So the thing about
older lady, that sounds like older. Like she could be my mama age older lady.
Okay, but pause. So fellas, if you're going to work and your spouse or your wife knows that you work with women, okay, and and you come home from work and you're talking about whatever this person's name is at work, your woman is going to want to know what this woman looks like, how old she is, all these kinds of things, because she wants to make sure that there's no chance whatsoever that this woman might try to get at you. So
no, that's not.
No.
That was not.
So
that's not the reason.
Okay, I have to make sure I'm clear, right? That it's not some young Becalito at the job, right?
Was a what?
Becalito. A little younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the job, okay, that you might think, oh, why you working late? Is such and such working late with you at the job, right? So I wanted to make sure I was clear that this was an older lady that's married and got a husband, got kids, all that kind of stuff. So you can get all that other stuff out your head right now. That's the context that was needed for that particular thing.
So now, you called her older lady so I would feel more comfortable?
Yes.
Oh, don't do that.
So that's a true story. I'm not making that up.
No, it was probably in relation to whatever you were telling me about the story.
I just want to.
I just remember you called a 35, 36-year-old lady old.
But I wanted to make a distinction that she wasn't like some 20-year-old young girl that just happened to work at the job with me. That's the point that I wanted to make. So getting back to the 70-year-old thing, I could not mess with, date, or whatever a 71-year-old woman, even if she had money, because that's somebody's grandmother. And most likely me and her grandson gonna be staring at each other at Thanksgiving dinners looking real crazy. I might know him. You know what I'm saying?
You might have went to high school with him.
I might have went to high school with him. So we can't be dating no woman, 71-year-old woman. I mean, she could be beautiful. I mean, some women age gracefully, right? She could be beautiful and all of that kind of thing. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about the idea that she's in a certain part of her life that I'm not in. Right?
That big of an age difference.
She's prepping for the next things that's going to happen right after that. And because our goals and aspirations and things like that and our dreams aren't going to be the same because we are in different hours of our life stage. So the same way she's 30 and she hasn't necessarily, I don't know what she does or anything like that, but
I think she's like on Instagram or something.
Okay,
like that.
So Lionel Richie, he's established, he's got money, he has a following, he's on a TV show, all that kind of stuff. So he is going to be thinking about different things than she's thinking at 30 because she may have not reached her, her peak yet, right? She may not have reached her goal and her dreams as yet. She might still be working towards them. So now you got Lionel. He's already at that point where he's done so much. Now he's on a TV show and he's helping, bring up younger artists and things like that. And she's trying to figure out what she's going to do with the rest of her life. She's trying to get in that wheel. You know what I just thought about?
What?
His daughter likes older dudes. That just occurred to me just now. His daughter likes older dudes.
I mean, that's a whole that's maybe daddy issues or whatever. It could go a little deeper. Gomez said
it could go a little deeper.
Natural, no surgery women age gracefully.
That's true.
Yes.
Women do age gracefully. That is true.
So,
I mean, some women get work, and that's okay. It's okay if you want to get a little Botox or whatever. Hey, knock yourself out.
Next podcast.
Knock yourself out. Whatever you think you want to do, it's your body, it's your face. You can do whatever you want to it. It's all good.
Face?
Botox. They get the injections in the face.
What if I want to get cheek implants?
Cheek implants?
Even though I don't need them.
Where's the stuff gonna come from that goes in your cheek?
My butt.
No, don't nobody want that.
Every time you kiss me on my cheek, you kiss
no,
ass.
Don't nobody want that.
I'm just kidding.
Don't nobody want that. I would imagine that when you get to that age, you still gonna look good.
Well, hopefully, if I keep drinking my water and not eating meat,
that ain't got nothing to do with it. So because when I'm that age, okay, you won't be far behind me because it's only 7 years. So we're gonna have similar, ideas and thoughts about things.
Right.
We'll both be prepping for the next, whatever the next is. We'll be thinking about, okay, is our child good? Whatever, you know what I mean? We good. Let's go on vacation someplace.
Well, we'll be in similar phases of our life. As far as age is concerned.
Exactly.
We have to say
thank you
because this is audio too. We have to remember to say the comments out. So New says meat ain't the bad guy.
It is not.
It's not. I just I made that decision. I feel healthier for it though, but that could be a whole.
Yeah, that don't mean you're gonna look good at 71.
No, it just means I'm eating more vegetables. I'm paying attention. I don't eat a bunch of processed stuff. So yeah, I just think that, and then drinking more water, and it's kind of like a domino effect. If you're doing it right.
So if you're doing all these things,
or you do things that are good for your temple.
So that is the presumption that when you get to be 71, you'll still be eligible, or you just gonna be 71.
No, well, I just like to look at it on a timeline in comparison. Like, I don't feel like I look 41.
Okay, so
maybe some days I do.
So if
maybe some days I don't, but it's just a right. So here, New says it's the fountain of youth. It's the gym.
It's the gym.
Yes.
I could
that and the kitchen.
I could agree with that. And back to what we're talking about though.
Yes.
So
I want to ask you a question. So with our age gap, did you ever feel any kind of difference in like the mentality or the
So I went into it because of when we met, because of the age you were when we met. I went into it thinking, oh, I'm of a certain age. She's a youngin'. So I'm going to be able to teach her. I'm going to be able to. It was a different time. Just focus. I'm going to be able to teach her. I'm going to be able to mold her into
Mm.
a certain
Wait,
thing.
what?
No, just listen first. Just listen
okay.
first. Okay.
Molds.
This is what I was thinking at the time. Because I had lived a little bit more than you had, and you hadn't been out there and hadn't experienced the things that I experienced. So I was going to be able to teach you and show you some things about life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I had been through some stuff and had experienced some things that you hadn't, just because of the environment that you were in at the time.
Right.
And you were a military brat like I was. So that brings with it a certain type of environment too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Certain skills over the years that you develop. Yeah.
Correct. So my thought process was, oh, I'm this age. She's this age. She don't know nothing. She don't know nothing yet. This is how I was thinking.
That's what you were thinking.
This is what I was thinking.
All right. And then you changed your mind?
Not too much later on.
Wait a minute. She's not as dumb as I thought she was.
I never thought you were dumb. To be clear, I never thought you were dumb.
Okay. Thought I was green.
That's it.
Naive.
I wouldn't say naive because you never came across to me as being naive.
Like you could just pull the wool over my eyes.
Nope, not that either. Just that you were young and you hadn't experienced a lot of things yet. Okay. So when you talk about someone that's in the age group that he is, and he's seen and experienced so many things that she'll never get to experience and see. So he's existing, having all this stuff in his history, and she just won't be able to understand. Because when he starts talking about stuff that happened in the 60s, let's just take that for instance. The stuff that happened in the 50s and 60s, she's not going to have any idea.
That's what I wonder. Does she even know any of his early songs? Like
probably not. She probably had to YouTube it.
Me.
She probably had to go YouTube or Amazon Music because she don't know.
First time I saw you. I bet you sing that to her.
How did Lionel Richie start?
Oh, you look so fine.
How did Lionel Richie start?
Commodores.
Okay, name me a Commodore song.
Huh?
Name me a Commodore song.
There's shoot. Oh, wait a minute.
See how you stumbling?
No. Because I always get his and the Commodores mixed up. Is it no, 3 Times a Lady is just his song.
Oh my goodness.
No, still. Stuck on You.
Go ahead, YouTube it. It's okay. The point I'm trying to make is, right?
So, yes,
if you're stumbling right now, imagine, okay, how she was stumbling.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. He can't even name one of his songs. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to, the point that I'm trying to get across, right?
Isn't me you're looking for?
In fairness, he hasn't had a song in a long time, but his songs are timeless. These are songs that you just know once you're of a certain age. She doesn't know any of these things. So the major part of his life that made him who he is, he can't even really have a conversation with her about those things because she doesn't understand it.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, so he might be able to talk about it and she'd be interested in some of it. But that's what I feel like with such a large gap that there would be some type of detachment almost.
Right.
Like, I don't understand anything that he's talking about. I can't relate. And he's probably thinking she's very immature and childish at times. And I can't believe that you don't know what a cassette tape is. Right. You know, that kind of thing. So like as a woman, for me, even dating someone in their 20s, like I just can't even like wrap my head around, because as a young woman coming up, I always felt as the guys in my age group always seemed super immature. So I almost dated up in that sense. Like I wanted someone who was older than me, because I felt like the guys that my peers were a little immature. If that makes sense.
So one of the questions that came up was, I wonder what her parents think of the relationship.
Okay.
So imagine being 30 and you going to the house and he's like, oh, mom, dad, I want you to meet my
Bring home your dad.
significant other. And it's Lionel Richie behind.
Yeah.
Her daddy, and her daddy probably not even 70. First of all, let's think about that. Her dad, she 30, her daddy probably 51, 52 if he had her young. Okay?
I don't know.
Think about that for 1 second. She 30.
My dad might embrace that though, because he'd be like, "Oh, we have a lot in common. We've been around the same time."
She 30. Her daddy 51, 52 tops. Okay? Lionel, however you want to say it, 71. This dude looking at her like, are you crazy? Do you know how old this dude is? She's like, but daddy, it's Lionel Richie. I know, but still.
And I'm saying,
he's 71.
With that, does she think, is she on the wheel?
Nah, it's too soon. They not married, so she's not on the wheel.
But he's been dating her for some time.
Yeah, but they're not married. And of course, Lionel's smart, so even if he was married, he'd have a prenuptial.
Not that she would get all his money, but it's like I don't know. That's just I don't know. And some of the comments in the group was like T had mentioned that's how you get. My mama said that's how you get worms.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're not going to discuss what you can or cannot. That's an old saying that people used to say about that kind of stuff. We joke about
you
that.
say that very saying.
Well, yeah, but it's a joke, though. I don't, mean it literally. You know what I mean?
It is that is ageism. It is. I mean, I think that people, no matter as long as you're consenting adults, let's just go ahead and blanket that on there. Is that if you love each other, that's really all that matters.
That's true. You can do whatever you want. There's no judgment or anything like that. It's a discussion, but there's no judgment. Okay, I think
society does. I think society would look at a man with a younger woman, and that's more accepting than a older woman with a younger man. It's almost like. Would
you think a man was having a midlife crisis if you see him with a younger girl? He's got the proverbial sports car and the toupee or now you can get a fake beard and everything, right? He got the Beijing in his hair. It's all jet black. You 65, your hair jet black.
I mean,
don't play yourself.
That's what I'm saying is that I don't think that maybe some people would think that, but I don't think it's the masses like it would be for a woman. There would be a lot of like stigma behind it, a lot of questions, a lot of, oh, she must have money, because if a woman is 70, I don't even know that I've seen that. Can anyone, if you comment, if you've seen
40 years?
Yeah, like a 70-year-old woman with a 30-year-old man in the instance, whether he's celebrity or not.
So y'all are cougars. That's what they call.
Yeah, that's what they call women.
Older women dating younger men. What's the name
there's not one. That's what I'm saying. That's where the ageism comes in, right? The double standard comes in because they actually call a woman something because she is dating or just even casually having sex with a younger man. But for a dude,
it's creepy.
No. So the idea of creepiness comes with the size of the age gap. So if you're talking about, like, let's say with Lionel Richie and that being such a large age gap where it's like, oh, but if it's 10 years younger, people are not going to like, oh, well.
Right.
I think there's a certain threshold, like maybe 15, 20. I think at 20, then it's like, okay, how did that happen? And then that would be like a curiosity. Like if my girlfriend came to me and was like, oh yeah, I'm dating this guy, he's 20 years old. I would be like, I have questions.
So do you think that that younger girls dating older men can be indicative of men in their age group or a little bit older are not what they're looking for? Like there's not a lot of eligible men available. There are men out there available. Okay, not every.
She's just not coming across them, right?
Not everyone's not in jail or selling drugs or anything like that. I mean, there's men out there that's doing their thing, have jobs, don't have a bunch of kids and things like that are eligible, but she's not meeting them necessarily.
Well, so, y'all dudes like to be playing around and stuff. So that would be an attraction for a woman to want an older man that's done with, playing the games, that's ready to settle down. Because sometimes y'all dudes um, get up in age but still want to run the streets. And so,
well, who says you gotta stop when you're of a certain age? That's ageism too. Saying, oh, what? You two, we say it all the time. Oh, you too old to be in the club. Right? You know what I'm saying? We say it all the time. But who says, right, that, oh, once you get to a certain age, you can't go out to the club or the lounge or wherever you go anymore and be out there enjoying company of younger women? Who says you can't do that? That's ageism on the man side.
But y'all do it anyway, though. Y'all be getting with the younger women.
But okay, so I'll be.
It's notoriously known that sometimes, like when you look in the history of men and women, that men go towards younger women.
Okay. And so that was looked at a certain way. So now women are going towards younger men, get rid of that double standard, right?
So he is not ready to settle down. If he would be with someone closer to his age. That's a thought. That's a thought. Well, maybe he wants the youth of a younger woman, the freshness, Maybe the
he killing himself, taking Viagra and all that other kind of stuff.
Well, assuming that's what he has to do. But
if you 71 and you got a 30-year-old girlfriend, you taking Viagra or Cialis or Yohimbe
didn't age with
or ginger root, whatever the stuff is that they got out there for you to take.
Maybe that might be an attraction.
What might be an attraction?
Of the lack of frequency.
What?
Maybe if he's older, he doesn't want to all the time, like a younger dude would.
So you're saying that that's a positive for the woman?
I don't know. I'm speculating.
No, let's talk about that.
I'm speculating.
So,
because I watch TV, so the girl like, oh, just do it every now and then, and it's no big deal. And she gets it's like a sugar daddy situation where she gets what she wants. She doesn't have to do much.
She only got to show and prove every now and then because she's old and all this kind of stuff.
Because it doesn't take much, right? Where the younger dude wants probably is a little bit more petty and wants more of a payoff for his gifts.
Let's be clear about something right now. If I'm 71, single, and got Lionel Richie money, ain't nothing free. No.
Oh,
ain't nothing free.
You so silly.
I might love you. Okay. I might have strong feelings for you, love you, whatever the way you want to describe it. But you have to understand, I made all this money. You wasn't around when I was,
Well, you know what? That might be why. Might be why she's still with him, because
civil rights treat her like and all that kind of stuff. Where I had to go in through the back and I couldn't eat in the same places and all this other kind of thing.
A gentleman.
He very well could be a gentleman. He probably opens doors and does all the chivalry and all that kind of stuff. I completely understand all that. I'm just saying to you, it ain't free.
Just to be close.
That's all I'm talking about. Sugar daddy could be equivalent to a cougar. So
not for a moment. Wow. Not for an hour. Just to be close.
Do y'all see what I have to deal with? All the time. This is all the time. This is not just happening because we're on the live.
Hello?
This is all the time.
Is it me you're looking for?
Songs live rent free in my wife's brain. And once she gets a song in her head, it's all day.
See it in your smile.
Mm-hmm. Can we get back to the
You're all I
topic
ever wanted. My arms are open wide. Because you know just what to say. He's probably saying all those things. And you know just what to do. Yes.
You think he's doing all that?
I'm thinking he's singing.
He's not singing.
Mm-hmm.
He's already sang. That's what got him the money.
No,
he don't need to sing no more.
I think like how you asked for me to poll, there's a microphone stand, a little stage, and he just serenades her. And he's very romantical.
Nope.
With candlelights and flower petals and stuff.
He's not doing all that.
Well, he paid somebody to set it up.
Cause he Lionel Richie. He ain't doing all that.
And do all that. He probably called the Commodores in and they do the little books.
I don't. They're not all alive.
Well, who's ever still there.
So anyway, sugar daddy could be the equivalent to a cougar. So that name is out there, but the term sugar daddy has somewhat of a
superficial, monetary,
kind of
motivated. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because if I'm a sugar daddy, that means I'm giving you things, or
the purpose is the
yes,
the give and take.
Paying for your mortgage, paying your light
Pay
bill.
my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills?
If you co-signing on a car or something like that, paying your child's private school tuition, which is very expensive, something like that. If I'm doing all that, understand that this is a transaction. This is a transaction. I'm gonna go ahead and pay this, but next time I see you, we gonna have to talk about this transaction. You can look at me crazy all you want to. I'm telling you what's real. We, as a married couple, we have transactions, not in that same way.
Yeah, but they're not like solely motivated on what you'll do for me and what I'll do for you.
Is it not?
No, because like the sugar daddy situation is like, oh, I know that I'm going to get this if I do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's with the expectation. So some of that stuff is not going to happen if it don't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you're saying sugar daddy equals idiot? No, I'm not saying that at all.
No, because it's an understood transaction. So he's getting something for whatever he's doing for her, probably monetarily.
Mm.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that he's an idiot because he knows what he's doing. Now, will other people pay or do for what he's getting? Maybe not. But ultimately it's an understanding. Versus like with the cougar though.
Oh, you could have a sugar mama. Let's not be.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. There's the sugar mama, there's the cougar, but it's just sugar daddy for the dude.
So what's the difference between a cougar and a sugar mama?
A sugar mama's paying stuff. You with her because of her money.
Okay.
And you're doing stuff for her, and basically she's paying you for it.
Okay, so the cougar's
is actually
dating...
just interested. Yeah, they in love or gonna be or trying to be.
You think
in love. Or they're sexing.
Okay. So
it's either casual or they're in love.
That's the cougar.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say the cougar has money. Where does it go from her being a sugar mama instead of just a cougar, or is she a sugar mama and a cougar?
When there's, I'm assuming when there's no like true relationship involved, where it's just a trade situation.
Because
I sleep with you, and then I use your car, you buy me a house, you pay my bills, that kind of thing.
Because is Lionel a sugar daddy in this situation?
I don't think so.
You could say yes. She could definitely be in love with him, and he could be in love with her.
But so that's the thing. It's like, what do you call a man in love with a younger woman, and they're actually in a relationship? In a relationship. He doesn't have a name. Well, that's what I'm saying is that he could very well be a portion of like taking care of her, being her sugar daddy.
He's definitely taking care of her. And even if she has a career,
they've been together a long time though.
Okay, so even if the woman has a career, because he is who he is, he's still going to do the lion's share of things. You understand what I'm saying? Even if she got a career and she got some money, okay? I mean, decent money. Not millions, but money. Okay? It's still going to be Lionel getting the yachts and the PJs and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, when they going wherever they going, right? You don't agree?
I mean, I guess the perks. Perks that come with
there are perks.
I guess. But I mean, when that goes away though, if there isn't that, you know, that's the thing. I just think that there are more relationships out there that are genuine relationships, younger women, older men.
Even when there's an age difference, there has to be something that attracts this person to the other person. And maybe they never say it. Maybe they never actually talk about it, but it becomes a factor in the success of the relationship. Okay? So you have the age difference, right? So if I'm 71 and I'm waiting on a check, okay, I'm waiting on a Social Security check, all right, because I had a job for 25, 30 years, whatever. I retired. Now I'm at the crib smelling like Mercure cone. Okay. And
some people think that smells good.
I don't know anybody that does. And then I meet you and I just live in this house. The house is paid off. Maybe I got a little Cadillac, something like that. I'm driving around. I'm still smooth. I still take care of myself. I still look good. Okay. But I don't have paper. You may not find yourself as attracted to me because I don't have millions of dollars. This is what I'm saying to you, because you might be chasing a lifestyle as well. You could love me genuinely, but you could also be chasing a lifestyle.
I mean, yeah,
that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten by yourself.
I think there's a certain amount of, desire for stability and all of that that comes with younger women, being attracted to older men. I think it comes that it must. It's just, I don't know about the sexual part. So I couldn't.
Reminded me that her grandfather, who was in his 80s, is dating someone in her early 30s. Right, wow. So, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is, I wish I could have you on right now so you can talk. I wish I could have y'all on right now so y'all can talk about this so we can get that perspective.
Dating early 30s.
Someone in the 80s dating someone in the 30s. Okay, so the comment came up that someone's grandfather is in the 80s and she only comes around for money also. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that kind of age difference seems like a little like a money grab, monetarily motivated. Whereas you can have someone, and even 20 years is different. But like I said, 20 years I still have questions, but 20 years might just be a stability thing.
Now think about this. Sorry, I apologize for cutting you off. So think about this. You're 70, you got money, man or woman, dating somebody 30, and you have money based off whatever your profession is. So now this other person even could genuinely like you and care about you, but could also be using you as a way to get to the next thing. Okay, I can expand whatever it is I'm trying to do. I can go touch whatever you touching, so I can go get this money too. Use it as a springboard. That's the word I was looking for to get to the next thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So, as a person dating somebody that they might die soon. So what kind of plans are you making? You're not making plans for the next 30 years. Okay. You might not even be making plans for the next 20 years. You got to make plans I'm being honest. You got to make plans in, maybe 5-year increments. You know what I'm saying? Because, you can't say, my man was talking about, he's in his 80s. If you with somebody that's in their 30s, the person that's 30 is thinking, I have a whole nother 50 years possibly of living to do. This person that I'm dating,
what nationality got 15 is he? Because some people be living a long time.
Irrelevant.
Like in their 90s. Forget all of that. So that's 10 years.
No. That's irrelevant. 10 years in them. It doesn't matter. Okay. Nobody is thinking if the 30-year-old person in this particular situation is not thinking that this 80-year-old is gonna live to be 100. Okay. And what kind of lifestyle is that going to be when this man or woman is 100?
Right.
Okay. When the person, when the person is 30, 100 is still 100. Okay. So the person's 80, lives 20 more years. The other person is 30. They're now 50. They got 35 more good years left before they got to worry about what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, does he look 80 though?
It doesn't matter. You're not making plans the same way.
Longevity and brownness. This is what I'm saying.
Does not
Brown people tend
matter.
to live a little longer, especially when you're talking about Spanish people and your family. Your elders in your family lived a long time.
That is correct. I agree with you. I'm talking about looking forward and making plans and what the rest of your life is going to look like at that point, right? Let's say we're 20 years apart. Okay.
He looks 80.
He looks 80. So, let's say we're 20 years apart. When we're talking about goals and aspirations and things we're trying to get to, okay? If I'm 75, my goals and aspirations are, I hope I don't pee on myself today.
So you're saying that if you're a younger woman looking for like a 70-year-old or dating a 70, you're not really seeing.
There's a clock on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have short plans.
Exactly. So that means you coming into it with something. It doesn't mean you can't love that person. It just means you coming into it with a certain viewpoint.
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
You have a whole lot more summers left than the person that you're in this relationship with. That's just the facts. And so that might shape how you move forward in terms of setting things up, money, the future, stuff like that, right? So it would make sense to be with somebody that has a lot of money, because when they're dead and gone in 20 years, you'll be right in the middle of everything at age 50. You're going to be straight. Not only that, you can go date somebody else after that. And now you got more money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or if you don't get put in the will, if you don't end up married and don't get put in the will, you won't have to go back to whatever you was doing beforehand, which is not the same. So now in that 20-year span, you're thinking, I have to maximize whatever I can.
Let me get what I can so I can stash it. Hold on to it. So in case he doesn't put me in the wheel.
That's right. And I'm not going to be getting those Social Security checks, which is not a lot anyway, but I'm not going to be getting that money coming in. We have this beautiful house. Who's going to pay the taxes on this house? Did he or she leave me enough money to not worry about all those kinds of things? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the mindset going in is going to be completely different though.
He probably had something set up for her already.
They're not married.
No, I'm saying even so.
Why would he do that though?
I'm saying
because he's of the age group, is because he's lived and done a lot of different things. He's smart enough to not put all his resources and things that he has into this one person, because he's been around enough to know.
I wouldn't say that
this might not work out.
Yeah, that he's left everything, but his money's long enough for him to set her up. In the event, even if they're not married, maybe let's say he doesn't want to get married. Mm-hmm. Maybe let's say, he can write up anything. He could have an attorney write up anything that says, this is for her in the event of my death.
Untimely.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, something that maybe she's aware of it, maybe she's not. I don't know. Maybe I watch too much TV, but I just think that if,
See, you're not looking at me, even though we're only 7 years apart. So you're not looking at me thinking, oh, we can't plan nothing 10, 15, 20 years in the future because I might not be here. Just off of my age, not off of anything else.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So we can have similar dreams about things that we still want to do and still want to accomplish. Right. Because, I'm a young, whatever my age is, you're young, whatever, you know what I mean? So you're thinking about things a little bit differently. No, it's not that I'm not trying to say my age. I'm just talking generalizing. And so we can have similar things that we're talking about, similar things that we're into. Mm-hmm. Okay. When it comes to the way the world is changing, we can have similar ideas about how we adjust and fit into that. Okay?
Yes.
If I'm 70 and maybe got a few ailments, You know what I'm saying?
You need your walker to get out the bed.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
you're
but
gonna be
he's
looking at things
lively
with.
though, right?
As far as we know,
energetic.
yeah. But how much
He's still
longer?
doing shows and stuff like he was.
He is. He's still on the TV show. But how much longer is he going to be energetic? How many more good years he got? These are the questions you have to ask yourself.
Well, yeah.
When you're dating someone in a later age group, you understand what I'm saying?
I don't think that they're going to do that if they're for the money grab, though. If they're out for the money,
listen,
they don't really care.
Oh, and getting back to the question, I wanted to touch on a little bit more. Being a son, I would have a problem. I think, even though it would be my mama business. You know, my parents are married and still alive and kicking. But let's say, you know, my mother met some dude and he was 86. You understand what I'm saying? Right? I'm like, Ma, what is you doing? That dude is 86. He about to die. What are you doing? I love him, son. Ma, he gonna be gone real soon. Do he got money? Okay, he got money. All right, cool. Let's talk about that.
So that would be all right?
No, I'm just asking a question. I'd want to know. I'd want to know the motivation.
Superficial.
I'd want to know the motivation. But I'm saying just I would just have. I would have some. I would feel a certain type of way about that. Your dad, okay? Let's say he met somebody, right? That was 50. That was my age.
Not my business.
Not your business, but you would be tripping. We would be in here having conversations about that. And then he'd be like, hey, I want you to meet pick a name, whatever name you want to pick. I want you to meet Beatrice, right? Beatrice come around. You and Beatrice the same age. How you gonna be looking at your daddy?
First off, I'm not 50.
I'm just giving you an example.
That's insulting.
What? I'm not saying you're 50. I'm saying how you gonna feel. Okay. Do you judge harder because it's a direct person in your family? Do you look at that the same way you would look at?
I think I'm gonna look at any woman initially and like, oh, what's because it's just a protective thing that you have. But I don't know. I think if she were 30, I'd be like, wait a minute now.
So you don't think about it because it's somebody you don't know. Like given this situation, you don't care, you don't think about it, whatever, you dismiss it. But if it's somebody you do know, then it becomes a problem or an issue.
No, because you become more concerned of a person's intent. But it's going to be that way whether she's, 60 or 55. It's still, in the back of your head, want to make sure that your person is going to be treated right. But it doesn't, what I'm saying as far as like, in the sense of somebody over there that I'm not related to, I don't have any like real relative concern. Love is love. Do what you do, whatever. If I get an inkling like, wait a minute, what's this hottie toddy doing with my dad? And I see that he's, helping her out, paying her bills, then I might be like, oh, okay, I see. But
your dad says, hey, I love her.
Well, then, you can't really, how much can you really interfere if it's like, I love her, or, how much can you really interfere? You can have an opinion about it, but that's what I'm saying. But people are more opinionated on the flip, double standard. People would be more opinionated if it were reversed. If it were an older woman with a younger man, oh, he's definitely there for the money. He couldn't love her. Or she's given a title because of it. And women are judged differently based on their age and how they age. We live in this whole, fight, the age process, society. Gray hair on men is
sexy. Look at your boy. Look at your boy. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So whereas if I were over here with a full gray head, it'd be like, wait,
that's sexy too, though. I think it's sexy because you have gray hair, and I don't even notice it.
I notice it.
Yeah, but to me, you're just aging gracefully. And even if your hair was completely gray, it wouldn't make me any difference.
It wouldn't make you any difference because you love me.
Mm-hmm.
Society, though.
Yeah, but if I saw you out in the street and I ain't know you and I saw you with a full head of gray hair, I'm like, damn,
I think we're turning corners.
She fine.
Though. We're turning corners where we're being more accepting of the age process. We're being more body positive, body image positive, and less trying to be less physically motivated whenever it comes, especially for women. Loving ourselves for who we are and embracing our age. But it's still a double standard, though. I still think men get away with more in their aging process than women do.
Why though? I mean, you see all these things.
It's not me making the decision.
Okay, you see all these different TV shows and Lifetime and Hallmark and all these other channels that they have these stories about men and women dating someone much younger than them. What do they call it? There's a term, May, November, or something like that, isn't it? It's something like that they have a term for it. But you see these things on TV, the certain way that they're depicted and portrayed on TV. So then that kind of gets inundated in your brain, and you start thinking that there's something wrong with it,
right?
That it shouldn't be that way, as opposed to, oh, it's just two people of a different age. What difference does it make? Now, I will say this: even if I was, let's take the age that I am now, you know how you say, oh, well, I shouldn't be in the club. Okay. But
everybody in the club getting tipsy.
I wouldn't be in certain types of clubs because of the, I'd be in a club that I like a certain type of music. No, where I know the music is good and they're not mumbling and things like that. No. Not the old dude lounge with people hand dancing. That's not where I'm gonna be. So anyway, I'm not gonna be in the lounge where they hand dancing at and serving food, little rolls and stuff in the foil. Yeah, in the foil little tins and stuff like that with macaroni and cheese potato salad. That's not where I'm gonna be.
No.
Okay? Even at the age I am now. But I'm gonna be in a spot where I know the music is good and I can dance.
You're gonna be at the church. At the church.
I'm not gonna be at the church.
Singles over.
No. So
silver singles.
Can we? This is why we can't get through a podcast, because you want to sing and do all this other kind of stuff.
It's my personality.
I wasn't even supposed to be talking that much today. So anyway,
you like to talk. Stop lying.
No.
Yeah, he tries to say like I'm the chatterbox. He begin on here talking. Y'all hear him?
You are definitely a chatterbox. Let's be clear about that right now.
That's okay.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. I'm not going to be in those kinds of places, right? So it's going to be a place where I feel comfortable around people that are going to have similar things that I'm into, like the similar types of music that I like and things like that. If I'm in the club where they playing Lil Baby and Lil Yachty and Uzi Vert and all these other dudes that I can't keep up with, Joe Moneybags and all this other kind of stuff that I can't keep up with the different names, then I'm in there and I'm specifically looking for a certain type of thing or trying to be around a certain type of woman. And she's going to think either, hey, what your old behind doing in here? Mm-hmm. Or she's going to think, let me fall back and peep out because he might have some money.
Right. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Let me see what his car looks like.
Right.
What his shoes look like.
Right.
What kind of jewelries he has.
Right. And I think dudes in the opposite way, not going to be thinking about it so much like that. He might find out a little bit later on, oh, she got her own house and, she got a couple degrees or this, that, or whatever. She owns a little business or something like that. She owns a business, got a little side hustle.
You talking about younger like men for older women?
Right. She got a little side hustle, you're gonna ask questions like how many kids do you have, stuff like that. How old is your daughter? How old is your son? Things like that, right? You gotta get past that awkwardness.
Yeah, I don't know how many women are being with younger men for, I don't know how seriously they take it. Like if you're saying in the cougar sense, like a 45-year-old woman dating a 22-year-old, for instance. Yeah, I don't think
when he go holler at his
trying to get her
boys,
groove back.
when he go holler at his boys, he gonna be like, "Yo,"
or like let's say she's 50 something and divorced. She's like Stella trying to get her groove back.
Maybe so, but when the bro go to tell the story, he gonna be like, "Yeah, you know, I'm dating such and such."
Well, if she's a celebrity,
no, I ain't talking about celebrity. I'm just talking about a regular. Yeah, I'm talking about a regular person.
I'm just talking about regular.
Yeah, she 55, but she's still fine. Look at her. You know what I'm saying? She used to be a little. Look at these pictures from when she was 30. Ooh, look
like
at
Angela Bassett.
And look at
Stella got her groove back
when she was 30. I'm like, yeah, bro, but she's 55.
Angela Bassett still looks good.
Angela Bassett does still look good.
She has an amazing back.
She does still look good. Angela, she's been married for a long time.
She lifts weights.
Yeah, Angela Bassett still. I mean, you know, that's her lifestyle, right? So she has to.
Yeah, she has aged gracefully though.
Yeah, she's been married for a while to Courtney Vance, so they've been together for a while. So let's go and wrap this thing up and give the good folks out there that Saturday evening back.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for watching.
So as you guys are going through the week, enjoy your week. For you single folks out there, don't be out in the clubs trying to find your little young 30-year-old and you 50. Leave her alone.
They can do what they want to do.
Leave her alone. She too young for
love.
You. She too young for you. Leave her.
I mean, if it's love.
Okay.
And if it is a love,
and don't y'all.
Why do I feel
if you know somebody in your family
that's on my mind?
80, trying to date a 30-year-old, she coming for the paper.
It is in love.
That's the only reason she there. I'm just gonna sit back and be quiet and let my wife take y'all out.
Maybe it's just
in song. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
All right.
We will catch y'all next time.
Wait, no. Thanks.
Oh, you want to talk now instead of saying?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Thank you for watching. You know, if you have any comments, want to ask some of the questions or address anything, of course, after this airs, you can comment in the comments. Also, please share. And then if you're part of the private group, invite your friends. They might be interested. Oh, right. And don't forget the rule, half your age plus 7.
Half your age plus 7.
So it's your age, half your age plus 7 is like that window.
Okay.
I had no idea. I didn't even know.
That means if you was able to break up with me, I could go date a younger girl than you right now. But we ain't ever gonna break up. But I'm just saying, off that math. That's all I'm saying. Can you stop giving me a stank side eye, please?
I don't forget what I was gonna say now.
Tell the people where they can find us.
You just say what?
Tell the people where they can find us.
So you can find us at Gonna Have Words on Facebook and Instagram. I'll also follow me, me.mandyd on IG. If you want to email us, gonnahavewords@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Be good.
That's right. Have a good one, y'all.
Bye.